With advancements in the industry and a higher demand for accuracy and quality, the average hobbyist has higher expectations than ever before. With their first catalog in 10 years, returning longtime veterans Third Rail and Golden Gate Depot take their bold first step into the spotlight with a plethora of exciting new releases. Tonight we speak with Jay and get the inside scoop on the new catalog and see what's in store for the future. So get your ticket from the station, grab a seat, make sure you don't miss the train. Board! Good evening, everyone, and thanks for tuning in to episode 90 of the Miniature Models Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, John Schwartz, and with me as always are my fellow co-hosts, Matt Z and Johnny. How are we tonight, guys?
Doing amazing, dude. I just got back from running my street side lemonade stand, trying to earn my income to pay for the new releases from Third Rail, but I'm very excited for this show.
Oh, that's awesome. I just went and donated a few organs, so we are in the same boat. You don't need both kidneys. There's no need. You get along with one just fine. For legal reasons, don't actually do that. That's awesome, man. I feel you. Yeah. What about you, Medzi?
We're doing pretty good. I'm excited to talk to Jay. I watched him not too long ago on Zach's Joker's live stream, talking about the catalog and that. So it's exciting to talk to him in full detail and get the inside scoop on the catalog and maybe what's coming next. So I'm excited to talk to Jay. So thank you for coming on.
Yes, indeed. It's going to be great. It feels like Jay's been all over the place. Like, he has been a busy man. So we really appreciate you taking the time to be on here, Jay. Yeah, you've been quite the busy guy. How are you doing this evening, sir?
I'm good. Yeah, I went out at NMRA Nationals last week in the National Train Show. It was a lot of fun. Met a lot of cool people. It was the first time Sunset Third Rail has done Nationals since it was in Anaheim, which I think was about 10 years ago. And the rest of the year, I mean, we got a couple more shows, a couple more just conventions we might go pop in at. And yeah, it's fun, and the travel's fun, and meeting you guys has been an incredible experience.
Thank you. We appreciate you you being so transparent and open with us in terms of working on this. Obviously, the guys who have been in the podcast Discord know that we've kind of been working with you behind the scenes with certain things, and we can get into that. But man, I got to give you kudos, man. Doing both the convention and the debut of the catalog in the same weekend was nuts.
It was ambitious. I mean, would I release a huge catalog again the same time as NMRA Nationals? I don't know. It was fun. It was a lot of stress, a lot of work, but I don't know. I wouldn't change it. I mean, it was a lot of fun being able to actually talk about, like, guys seeing the catalog on the table. I had it on an iPad, of course, because print is way too expensive. Mm-hmm. But being able to, like, be there as soon as we announce something, like, we can talk about it, we can get excited about it, we can show other models that we've done before. We had an Amtrak 3/4 dome in brass, which apparently are very elusive from what I found out.
Yep.
And a nice Pennsylvania L1 Mikado that we had weathered up for advertising, and people were just loving it.
That's awesome. So much cool stuff. John, what do you think, man? Do you think we should just we had a lot to tackle tonight. Do you think we should just dive on in tonight?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Anytime we got an industry guest on, let's go straight into it. We have lots of good stuff to discuss this evening. Got some history stuff, got some models, tons of stuff to discuss. Yeah, let's jump straight into it.
Actually, I'd love to, since you mentioned it, since this is a big milestone for you guys for Sunset Models, Third Rail, Golden Gate Depot. A lot of folks are familiar with Scott, but my first introduction to you was at the O-Scale March meet. You've been working with Scott for quite a while. What's your connection with Third Rail, and how did you get into the whole side of this with Sunset?
Yeah, so it's kind of funny, actually, because I grew up about 10 minutes from the Sunset warehouse out in California. And me as a little high school kid, I was looking for one of their M6 or M9 HO scale moguls. They were impossible to find anywhere. And I had no idea Third Rail even had a website at that point. So I found them online. I walked in there, met Scott for the first time, and I picked up a couple at a pretty good price. And I realized how hard they were to find. So I sold those couple. And I went in and did it a few more times. And Scott finally asked, "Hey, what are you doing with these?" And I told him, "Oh, I'm selling them." And he was like, "Come with me, come look at the back." And he took me to the warehouse, and it was just, stock full of, models going back to the 70s even.
Oh, wow.
And he's like, "Can you help out with this?" And I was like, "Sure, of course." So that was kind of the beginning of Third and Townsend models. Was I created my own company to start selling this overstock old product that Sunset had. And being an SP guy, I saw that Scott did Perriman cars in O scale. So I was like, hey, you should do them in HO. And he was like, hey, you should work on the project with me. So that was kind of my first introduction back in 2016, started working on that project. That project was a huge, huge learning curve because even though being an HO modeler, I didn't know that O scale modeling was a bit more lenient than HO when it came to scale length and scale proportions. So I definitely did my favorite road a disservice with scale lengths and stuff like that. I didn't know, but yeah, I recovered from there. I've worked on a couple other projects with him in the HO realm, and I've just been kind of at his side doing his social media on and off, and really picked it back up probably about 2.5, 3 years ago, and then really, really dove into it this year, alongside learning the production, learning how all the electronics work on the NO scale and the 3-rail, because I still am very new to that and learning every day. But that's kind of where we're at now is, I mean, I've been working with Scott for a long time, and it's going to be an exciting future for Sunset Third Rail.
I'm so happy for it, man. It's awesome.
Yeah,
That's
no,
gonna be great.
a lot of people have, just from either through our community Discord or through Instagram working with you or Facebook or through your site, people really appreciate how open you are to ideas and how excited you are. Your passion, we were talking about this prior to the show, your passion really shows when it comes to wanting to restoke the fire for Third Rail. And it's gone from, if you were in the hobby and you heard from a more experienced modeler, you'd know about Third Rail or Golden Gate Depot. But now it's a case where you guys are, I mean, when your catalog announced, there are other announcements going on that same week, and you guys really took center stage. So it was amazing.
I mean, it was interesting diving into that catalog and like really digging into what we should put in it. Because of course we have our current in production models, but I was like, we need some just absolute groundbreakers. And through kind of teasing on social media, just doing a little bit of outreach, letting guys post what model they want to see us build on their Instagram stories and tagging us, that's kind of what led to the Mollies. And which I know seems almost like a cult like following now, where it's just incredible, the turnout. I mean,
Oh, it is. Yeah.
the numbers we're getting, I mean, truly matches the genuine interest and excitement that I've seen. I mean, on Instagram, on Facebook in June, early July, before we actually announced them. And it's really exciting seeing that. I mean, you guys that are just chatting me, and I'm like, oh, it could be casual, it could mean nothing, but it turns out I'm like, oh my gosh, this is something.
People have wanted that engine for a long time, myself included. First new purchase, I think, ever from Third Rail. So super excited for that. I think it's good, though,
I'm excited
just,
for that too.
yeah, just in general, you coming from an HO background as well, we need that in O scale, I think. Like we always say, like, the younger crowd, we're spending, we will spend money on trains, but we want to spend money on really good stuff. And Third Rail's whole and Golden Gate Depot's whole thing is accuracy. So you're kind of the perfect person to be doing this, in my opinion, like, because you have that, like, you come from HO, where, like you said, O has been a lot more lenient. I think that's putting it very generously in the past with, like, just everything, even up to about, I think within the past 10 years, maybe, was, still very much like the line was blurred between toy and model. So I think we're sort of entering this. I've said this before. We're starting to enter this new era where we've had, there's other control systems out that are kind of like bringing brass back. I think our generation sort of like almost rediscovered brass in a way, and also a lot of the older crowd too. There's this, like, I've always said, there's this almost this third manufacturer now that we've zombified these old 90s brass models that are coming back now with this new stuff. So I think this is the best time to be doing this sort of thing. So you seem like the best guy for it, honestly.
I appreciate it. I mean, like you said, I mean, coming from an HO background, I mean, I saw a lot of stuff come out over the past 10, 20 years. And I mean, like I was telling you guys earlier, I'm like, Rapido has been, I mean, they're like the HO icon right now when it comes to groundbreaking, when it comes to just, I mean, bending the rules a bit and just really shaking up the HO market by doing those more unique items but unique items that'll get a lot of modelers behind. And that's kind of the idea with Third Rail. I mean, we've been around 50 years. We started building with Sam Hongza in Korea. So precision, quality, I mean, scale, accuracy is in the DNA of Third Rail.
For sure. It's one of those things where I think with a lot of newcomers, when it comes to, like I said, a lot of folks are being exposed to your guys' product and what you guys are doing. Third Rail and Gongge Depot has always been that for the scale modeler who wants exactly prototype, who wants road specific, and doesn't mind paying a little extra for that quality that you guys do. It's not the same as buying as from other manufacturers who are fine with, who make good quality products that are close enough. They want that your customer base tend to be folks who want the extra milestone, are willing to go a little bit more for that quality. So I think that's an important distinction that newer folks are still kind of learning when it comes to your product line.
Yeah, I mean, you pretty much killed it in that. I mean, the other manufacturers, they have incredible customer bases that want to be a little more, I mean, if they got tighter radiuses at home, or if they have kids that are touching the models and all that, I mean, they can definitely, they're great in their fields. They've done incredible in their fields. But like you said, I mean, if guys want that extra level of quality, that extra level of detail, they can find us.
Looking to expand your collection? Check out Trains.com. Trains is your go-to place for new and used model railroad products. They have everything ranging from engines, rolling stock, parts, track, and scenery. If you need it, they probably have it. With new discounts being added daily, you'll be sure to find something you like. Plus, Trains offers a newsletter which keeps you up to date on new items, discounts, and upcoming promotions. We've been using Trains for years, and we highly recommend their stellar service. What's really cool is you can also collect points by buying Trains and using them on future purchases. With their awesome rewards program, you can earn points on every purchase that you can use for future discounts. Dedicated modelers can also join their private card membership to get exclusive access to new listings, earn 5 points per dollar spent, and unlock great benefits like no questions asked returns. Trains not only sells trains, but also buys them too. If you've got a large collection or are interested in downsizing and making some cash, you can head on over to sellmytrains.com. It doesn't get easier than that. You can find them using our affiliate link, www.trains.com/MMOP, or if you want to use our one-time promo code MMOP, you can get $10 off a single purchase on the Trains.com website. So check out Trains.com and start expanding your collection today. Kind of transitioning into our main topic for tonight, which was the catalog. That's a really different thing from what other manufacturers and 3Rail are doing right now. Doing big catalogs is not really a thing that most are pursuing anymore. I know Lionel is trying to go to a reduced catalog. MTH has stopped doing catalogs. Atlas has theirs that they do occasionally. It doesn't come out too often. So when you had made mention to us that you were wanting to do a full-blown catalog, like Third Rail had done in previous years, that was really cool to see. And you guys didn't hold back. You were, we were fortunate enough to work with you behind the scenes and kind of give you some feedback on what we thought would be cool to see done, or what people haven't seen or wanted to see. It was really interesting to see you go not only do a full catalog, but to pull out all the stops for this particular one.
I mean, it's kind of like what I told you guys. I mean, we haven't done a full-blown, landscape catalog in over a decade. I think the last one we did was 2012. And we've done some pamphlets, some smaller stuff up until 2017. But I just felt it was time. I mean, I do love dropping, the random on a Tuesday where new announcement. I mean, it's fun doing that. I mean, the excitement is there. But I just felt like, especially being the 50th anniversary of Sunset, there was no reason not to do a catalog.
Oh, for sure.
Imagine that, doing a really good anniversary catalog. Who would do that?
Nice.
I don't know what you're talking about.
No idea. Just came to my mind. I have no idea.
Right.
It is good though, because like you said, you have taken the time to listen to people, and I think people were a little bit burned out, so to speak, on certain aspects of the hobby, let's say. And I think that this was a really refreshing, having someone listen so closely and just be like, yeah, okay, we can do that. Like O-scalers, I'm not going to speak for everybody, but at least for me, like just some of the stuff that is very much a given in HO, like having prototypical this, road specific that, and even between engine variants in the same class. When you give O-scalers something like accurate headlight for certain model, we freak out because like that's like unheard of. It's like, oh my god, this one specific thing is going to have this one specific thing. So like I'm not going to say we're easy to please, but we very much appreciate when someone does go that extra mile with models like this. Because as you're going to see as we go through this catalog, dear listeners, there are quite a few pieces that are like, if you make it, they will buy. Like it's literally like that sort of situation. So yeah.
Oh, yeah. I told one of the guys that we talk to all the time, Carmine. So Carmine, if you listen to this, thank you. One of the engines you made, and we'll talk about it later. I told him, I said, if they make this version, I will buy it.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yes. Yes.
We'll get to it later on. I can't wait. Oh man.
Yes, indeed. Well, then, do you want to get started, Johnny? Do you want
to? There's two things I want to touch on real quick.
Please.
One is extremely selfish in my end, but Jay, I really appreciate that you used some of my photography that I've used from photographs of the bunker of my models and on my personal layout as well.
Yeah.
I the last physical print catalog I have from Third Rail was when I think you guys were running the M9 Moguls and the MT during that catalog, which are engines I now own. So I was like, oh man, these are so cool. I love Third Rail catalog. So to go from a person who literally had no connections with anybody in the hobby and obviously by extension, no one in the industry, to now being able to chat with you on a regular basis. And not only that, but be on both the front and back cover of the catalog with a shout out with the acknowledgements. I really appreciate that. That was, I cannot put into words how honored I am.
Well, I mean, of course. I mean, like I told you, I mean, people always submit photos and everybody, I mean, there's really good photos out there. And this just so happened. I mean, we were doing some really cool SP announcements. Granted, the cover made a lot of people think we were doing mountains again for a week until we dropped the whole catalog. But I mean, the pictures were great. I mean, the videos that I've seen of yours are great. That's why I share them on the socials. I tag you. I mean, I collaborate with you on them because it's not just about Sunset, Golden Gate Depot, Third and Townsend models. It's about you guys as well. And that's why I do like the collaboration. So I'm like, hopefully if I pick up followers, if my people don't follow you, they see it's your video, they go follow you too.
Well, we really appreciate that. And I really appreciate that too.
Yeah, seriously.
So let's dive into the catalog. But one other thing I want to kind of throw in there for anybody who is following along or would like to place their orders for anything they find interesting in this catalog. Check out Jay's website, which if you search up Third and Townsend models, you can pre-order all the models that we are discussing here tonight. And for those who did see the catalog and checked out the website during release day, Jay has been working very hard on updating the website, adding some feature enhancements to make things easier to order. And since it was released during the convention, there have been a lot more options that have been added. So hopefully tonight we can cover some of those. So if you were hoping to find something or you wanted to request something to be added, you can follow along tonight and see if that's been added, or we'll show you where you can go and request that if you're interested. So
yeah, there's a lot of good stuff on there. Definitely go check their website. It's very user-friendly, very easy to use. And just explore too. Like even if you aren't purchasing like a specific model, still go in to some of them and just see what's being offered. There's so much neat stuff. It might give you an idea for something that you want to promote in the future. Something like, I didn't know that they could do that with a model. Go check it out. Seriously.
For sure. All right. Let's tackle the first one here tonight. So if we're following along with the catalog here, the first engine that was listed are the SD70s. This was teased prior to the catalog, and this is one that I think a little bit of extra insight is needed, at least for the 3-rail side. Because in 3-rail we've had SD70s have been done quite a lot from MTH, from Lionel, from Atlas, but we have to keep in mind that it's also. You have to keep in mind that these are being done at the highest tier in terms of accuracy and detail when it comes to Third Rail. But also the 2-rail market is something from what you described, this was something that they really needed as well. Could you give us some insight on that aspect?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, this was one of the ideas that actually spawned from the O-Scale March meet. Talking to Jim Cantor, he's a well-respected gentleman in the industry, older gentleman, and he took me over to American Scale Models, and we were looking at the SD70s on the table. And we were looking at the prices of those, and I was aware that Overland did a bang up job on them, but they're, I mean, $2,000 to $3,000 a piece. And we, as you see with our other diesels, we have the capability of building something to that standard, of course, in plastic with brass details. And I figured, I mean, talking to Jim, he was like, I think this would be a hit in both 2-rail and 3-rail, because the 2-rail guys don't really have options besides the $2,000 to $3,000 Overlands. And the 3-rail guys that want something even more accurate, I mean, even more accurate trucks, proper trucks, really good detailing sprung trucks, they don't really have that option out there. So Scott and I toted the idea for a few months and talked to a few more people, and it seemed like it just made sense to offer it and see, I mean, if we could get the guys behind it, which it seems like we're getting quite a few behind it.
Yeah, those are really cool, and it's one of those things where the three of us, John, Matt, and I, were very much transition era modelers. So the modern area of modeling is not something that we follow too closely, but kind of seeing the reactions, like, Lionel and MTH, they do their ES44s constantly, and they're money makers for them. And I know Scale Trains is the same way with their product line. But when guys from the modern era have, rotating bearing caps or accurate PTC or air conditioning units and stuff like that, stuff to us, we're like, why the hell would we care about that? That means a lot to them. Having it not only be done with fixed pilots and having all the, all extra accoutrements, but the fact that it's a 3rd-rail model, like, as a customer of yours from buying diesels with the E7s and the SD7s, like, you guys go above and beyond. Like, those diesels are quality. What's the price point for these? Do you have
those are $849.
$849. And honestly, guys, kind of comparing that to Lionel as a price point, just to give a price point in terms of stuff, obviously whatever is your preference is what your preference. We're not here to swing you one way or another, just giving comparison. It's kind of what they're starting to charge too. It's a little bit more, but that's, you're paying for that little extra bit of detail, and it's on par with what's being offered now. The era of the $400 diesel is long behind us, but that's with everyone. And I think that's one thing that should be kept in mind, is that if you want the detail and the accuracy, I think this is definitely something to be strongly considered by those who want that extra step in their models.
Yeah, I mean, definitely, like we said earlier, I mean, the steam locomotives, I mean, having one separate little feature that sets completely apart from its predecessor. We'll touch that with that project that I'm referring to, with like the 9 different versions. But it's the same thing. I mean, doing isolated cabs versus non-isolated cabs, having the inverters, I mean, all that stuff, where it's just extra details that we can do. And I mean, like I put on there, for the heritage schemes, we do have minimums. It's like for the Norfolk Southern, we need 10 of those to be reserved for us to do that scheme. And the UP one, I don't even have to say it. More than 10 of those have been reserved in their schemes. But that's kind of where it takes, I mean, the guys that really want it to kind of drive that. Because we are smaller, we have minimums that we have to hit. So like with that example, it's like we need guys, if they want to see the Norfolk Southern stuff like Lackawanna, I mean, really oddball, obscure, but really cool locomotives, we just got to hit the numbers.
Yeah, that's good to hear, and I'm glad that people are really interested, especially the UP Heritage Fleet. But you guys have got quite a lot of different options as well for those who didn't know. Like Jay said, the UP Heritage Fleet, the Norfolk Southern Heritage Fleet, Northern Union Pacific, BNSF, CSX, Ferromex, CN, KCS, NS, MRLL, a bunch of different. It's not just the items, the images that you see there. There's a lot more. And if you want to see what options are fully available, once again, I strongly encourage going to the Third and Townsend website. That way you can get a better idea of what options are available and see what select from the full buffet there.
I just wanted to say, too, just in terms of modern diesels overall, the whole thing that's so great about offering something like this is that we're kind of in this interesting era where a lot of older stuff is being rebuilt with these very sort of like just different modifications that are very road specific. Like you have like Admiral cabs and some of these like different tier variations for emissions. So you guys can really, I feel like, seeing the response on an engine like this, the Ace, which is, to be fair, it's more of a common locomotive. You guys can get, like, if the response on this was so good, think of the stuff that can be done, later on with other diesels and everything. Like, there's absolutely that market. I feel like they are clamoring for stuff like this. So, listeners, if you guys want stuff like this, get ready to vote with your wallets and stuff. There is potential for this market. So, yeah, there's a lot to be done in that field.
100%.
Oh yeah, I think to your point, John, you look at this and think, oh, it's an SD70. Well, it is, but it isn't. I mean, you're gonna get the best SD70 you can get
Exactly
in 3-rail. It's what you want. If you're a modern fan that likes all these cool features, here you go. This is it. And yeah, who knows? If this turns out great, the sky's the limit as far as other units you could do, and so we'll. I'm really curious to see how this turns out.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Yeah, Matt, you're completely right. I mean, like we saw with the ST40-2s, it was a very long, drawn-out project, but after finally getting past that initial hurdle, we've already done a second run with over 100 units that are being delivered this year. And
That's awesome.
that was our first hood unit. Then we're doing GP30s. Those are coming out next year. But I mean, that's the idea is if you guys want it, we'll build it.
There you go.
That's awesome. It's one of those things where with the market how it is and the industry how it is, it's become more so a thing of we're going to offer what you think you're going to like and you're going to like it. But having the ability to reach out to a manufacturer, to work with you guys directly, or to reach out to other manufacturers that are following a similar model, and have people excited to hear what we're looking for. I know that's what kind of made that big boom in the 90s of hearing what the customer wants rather than just giving the customer what we think they want. Mm-hmm. That's huge. People love that, and it makes people more excited to buy from a particular company. So we really appreciate that shift.
Absolutely.
So let's move on to the next one. And this is the one that hurts me the most. And I think I have to apologize partially as well, because Jay, you were considering another model in its place.
Yes.
Whether you're at liberty to reveal what that was, you had asked some of the guys here that assisted you behind the scenes, what should you do? Should you do that particular model or the Pacifics? And I remember telling you, the P10, I have one of those. And I think I'm like one of the only people that has one that posts it regularly on social media. You can't find these. These are rare as the Dickens now. Mm-hmm. And then within like the hour, you had these ready to go for the catalog.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's like I said, I mean, I'm an SP guy. I've got a super old KTM, nicely painted, a Daylight 4350 sitting on my desk that I look at every day. And I'm like, how cool would this be to do modern, do now? And that was a model that, almost beat out the Pacifics, or even, I was considering this before I even thought of the Pacifics, was doing another MT4-5 combination with Skyline casing, no Skyline casing. But the Pacifics did make a lot more sense, kind of thinking about it, where it gave us variation to where, yeah, we can do a P14. And P14s, are as plentiful as, an HO. Hallmark did them. They did a couple, they probably did 500 of them, and you can get those anywhere. Overland did a really good one, but I didn't realize that there was never one done in O scale. And then over the past maybe week or so, it was funny, I was actually sitting at a livestock show when my fiance was judging the cattle, and I was just chatting with a guy, and he was like, P13s have never been done. And I saw on the OGR forum, and I'm like, oh, that's right. And I did some research, and I'm like, okay, we can do a P13 pretty easily as well. So let's toss that guy in there too. And once again, never been done in no scale. It was done once in HO. They're not super popular in HO. Custom Brass did them, I think, in the late 70s. Beautiful models, but there wasn't a lot of interest. And I added it to ours. And there's over half a dozen guys now that were already picked up on it.
When we were discussing this behind the scenes about doing the Pacifics, the P14 is one. For those who don't know, obviously Jay and I are SP nerds, so for us we get the class names. But for those who don't know, that's the Sunbeam. And the Sunbeam is kind of like the little baby daylight of the southern portion of SP in near Texas. So that for all the TNO guys, because I've learned through our community, because we have quite a few Texans in our Discord.
Yes,
they
we
are
do.
very passionate about TNO. And any attention or love that can get, they go nuts for it. And they've wanted a P14 for such a long time. And in fact, like I said, I post my P10 not often, not like all the time, but regularly enough where that I've Ricky, that Texas Eagle in our Discord, he's messaged me like, you should sell me that so I can turn it into a Sunbeam. I'm like, no, you can't do that. It's mine. But they've been advocating it for a while. I know they've been emailing, I think either you or Scott, kind of begging for a Sunbeam to be done. And just the fact that this is being done was huge for them, and they went buck nutty for it. And then as a person who really wants one of the Pacifics, like 2470, not 2472, when you offered that, oh my god, we call it the Walt Witness Protection group, where after that I was like, well, there you go, adding that to my pre-order. It's not even a question. So I love to see these coming back. They're really nice sized engines, and just if I had the fundage, I would go for the black D-skirted P10 as well, but 2472 is going to be my go-to. These are great engines, and I thank you for offering these.
Yeah, of course. I mean, like I said, you guys know I'm a big SP guy, and there's a picture of me when I was 4 years old at Rail Fair '99, of all things, a big Sacramento Rail Fair they put on, and I was sitting on the back tender deck of, I think it was 2467, and Grandma has that picture in her house still, and I was like, yeah, this would be cool to do, and do all the different variants. I mean, do the as delivered. We're doing a green boiler as well, like I think they call it Russian iron. I know it varied per road what color it actually turned out to be, if it was more blue than green. We're offering that. We're doing the pre-war, post-war lettering. I'm trying to nail down research on the different variations of 2472 and 2467. Like when we look at like the 80s and 90s, early 2000s, seeing if there's any differences, because I think offering a rail fair version would be really cool for the guys that were at Rail Fair, the guys that have seen the Pentrix VHS that I sometimes stream on Vimeo. The only way to watch it, because you can't watch VHS now, but it's kind of having that ability and that model just to kind of touch back in their nostalgia. Like, you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, for sure.
Of course.
Yeah, that's so cool. I remember seeing, I think it was 2472, pulled the Earth Day special, I believe, where it had the ski train behind it with the 4049's Ox Tender. That was a really cool excursion. And since Lionel did the ski train cars not too long ago, I used to own those. I remember watching that video going, man, I wish I had this engine, but these are rare as the dickens now. So for anybody who wants one of these, definitely check these out. Give it the SP love. If you're if you've been to Niles Canyon and anybody's got the opportunity to ride to hide some 2472 or get to see any of the double header videos, this is a must get engine.
It's a really cool looking.
I'm a
engine.
fan
I
of
like it a
any.
lot.
Yeah, I'm a fan of any Pacific, so this is awesome to see. I know that, again, it's a good medium-sized steam engine. The trend in O is always northern, mountain, big boy. So the fact that we're getting stuff like this, it's filling that niche.
What do you mean? According to other manufacturers, I say this with all the love in my heart. I tease. Of course, with certain, you can only make so many models. You can't go crazy road specific when it comes to die cast. So obviously, with insight to industry, it's not as easy. But I goof with all the love in my heart. Obviously, SP is just cab forwards, AC9s, GSs, and that's about it.
Yeah. The only daylight was 4449. There was nothing.
The whistle was always located up front. It never was really located. Yeah.
I mean, I'll admit I have a fleet of MTH and BLI GS4s in HO scale because, they did a good job on those. So
those are great.
They did a heck of a job on those. Both those manufacturers did.
The BLI one, man. I'm not an HO guy, but I really debated with all my being if I really wanted to buy one from the latest run. They're very nice.
Mm-hmm.
There is no excuse for doing a bad GS4, in my opinion.
No.
There's no excuse.
No. I do want to throw this in here, kind of just for those who are interested in ordering these. Jay has offered quite a few more road numbers and different options for these locomotives. P13s, for those who are following on the catalog, you'll notice those are on the catalog page at this current time as of recording, but those have been added recently to the website. So if you want to see that for you TNO guys, check that out. And then also, you also do have the option to now select if you want pre-war or post-war lettering. So I held off until that was added, so I was able to put in my post-war lettering. Jay, just as a question for the customers who have already placed their orders, if they wanted to specify pre-war, post-war prior to that change being made, what would be the best way to do that?
They can just shoot me an email. I mean, they're going to get a chance to right at the end too before production starts when I go confirming orders with everybody. And if they want to change their version, cool, we can easily do that.
Awesome. We're glad to hear that.
Love that.
Awesome. And like I said, guys, Jay's been working really hard behind the scenes to get all this stuff updated and adding these enhancement changes to the website. So, give him a round of applause for that, because keeping up with everyone's constant demands. I feel so bad for me. Came back from the convention, I had a whole several page PDF of the different things people were asking for. But he answered those pretty quick and got those changes made shortly afterwards. So it's not a case where it's just go up there and he's just put it up there and he's leaving it there. He's actively keeping things updated and listening to requests. So reach out to me if you have any questions.
Definitely.
Yes, indeedy. So what do we got? What do we got next?
Yeah, do you want to introduce the next one, John?
Yes. So we got the 4 Aces. Looks to be the next one up, along with the. I believe these are being concurrently done with the NPA1 Northerns. Now, this is kind of a neat one. This is sort of, again, we're getting into that specific, very it's a big engine, but it's not been modeled a whole lot because they got a lot of that specificity. So this is kind of like one of those legendary engines in terms of third rail. Jake, tell us a little bit about the 4 Aces and just this whole idea that you guys have.
Yeah, so the 4 Aces, it was a Timken model. It was a demonstrator that they ran all across the country to show off their new roller bearing trucks. And from my research and looking into what we did before, I didn't realize that we only built 40 of these when we did these about 11 years ago. And there's always been a bit of interest there. Alongside the Northern Pacific A1s it was number 2626, which is the same engine as the 4 Aces. They renumbered, they eventually converted to oil. And it just seemed like, kind of like an oddball one. Like a lot of people were like, oh, where'd that come from? And it was like, yeah, it was out of left field, but there was a good amount of interest. And I'm furthering a bit of research because there is one other true oddball that we can offer with this that virtually was the same exact locomotive, which was actually a Delaware, Lackawanna, and Western. They called the Pocono.
You've made everyone on the East Coast collectively have their hearts explode.
Yes. Oh my God. You just. Oh God. I can't even words what people.
I haven't even told you guys about this yet in the Discord because this is another thing. I dove down the P13 rabbit hole at the cattle show. I was diving down this one too, and it looked like, I believe Weaver did one in brass probably 10 or 15 years ago.
Yeah. It's unobtainium.
They're very elusive when they come up on brass trains. They're fetching big money. And I just kept looking at it and I'm like, this is the same thing. I read some forums and they're like, this is virtually the same thing. And I'm like, okay, well, I'll dive a little deeper into it and make sure it's, quote, the same thing or close enough to where the factory is okay with it. But I'm very close to possibly putting that up. And by the time this airs, it might already be up.
That's going to be awesome.
Some people are going to be in trouble.
Poconos have been one that people have been asking for quite a lot from my end of the community because I like to kind of gather things from the East Coast guys because I'm like you, Jay, where I'm exclusively a West Coast modeler. Mm-hmm. So the Poconos have been something I've heard quite a lot from folks. But they're like, yeah, man, ask Jay if you can do a Pocono. Ask Jay if you can do a Pocono. And this would do well. You would not believe the amount of pain that people were in when the last Pocono that I saw that was listed was offered on eBay, and whoever owned it previously had turned it into an NDAM steam locomotive.
Oh my!
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that one. Hey, there's another possibility for you, a Niagara.
So people, it was very cool as an NDM fan. That was really cool for all the East Coasters. They screamed and they cried, and I don't blame them because it's a very rare model. But yeah, seeing these return, that would make them very happy.
Awesome. Yeah, it'll probably be up by the time this is up. So.
Most likely.
Sweet.
Want to support your favorite O-Scale podcast and rock some awesome merch? Well, now you can. We've teamed up with Redbubble.com and have come up with a great selection of gear that you can get right now. They have everything from shirts, hoodies, stickers, mugs, bags, you name it. Heck, you could even get a wall clock with us on it. All this great stuff and more at Redbubble.com. Links are down in the show notes, so grab yourself some gear and rock some awesome podcast merch.
So then we got the FL9s next. And as a Northeastern guy, I got to say, and a New Haven fan, this is another one of those legendary like third rail engines that I always like. If I think third rail, FL9, Four Aces, Molly, all those kind of come to mind because I think the FL9 was the first time I really realized there's like, oh my God, third rail does diesels too? Because I mean, it was always just steam in my mind. So that was like, whoa, hold up. That is one of those diesels that, you know, it's super specific. It's got a lot of like legs though, in terms of what you can do. You think, oh, maybe just New Haven. No. Metro North people are voracious with their modeling. I mean, the Comet cars from Atlas, those things were like, I think those sold out almost like immediately when they came out. Am I wrong? Like, weren't those things like gone right away?
Immediately.
Yeah. So this is a great idea for what you guys got. As a New Haven guy, I might need to pick one of these up at some point. You got the Metro North versions. You're doing Amtrak, which is beautiful. Penn Central. Penn Central is also really coming back now. So yeah, do you want to tell us a little bit about the FL9s?
Yeah, I mean, the FL9, it was kind of, the humble child of the diesel realm, at least for third rail. It was told it was going to be popular when the idea came out, 15, 16 years ago to do it, but it turned out to not be that popular back then. But then me helping Scott, I ended up selling all of the dummies that they had, and kind of there being that, 10-year just dry spell of third rail having FL9s in stock has really, kind of pushed it. And seeing what eBay prices are getting, people are selling Amtrak ones for almost $1,000. Dummy units are going for $500-600. And I'm like, well, we did this a long time ago and we can do them a lot better now and actually add more road specific detail, which we did lack in the first time. But I just thought it would be another good, let's 50th anniversary, let's go back to our roots in O scale. And we did this and it was cool. Let's do it again.
That's fantastic. I'm curious, just for personal curiosity, you guys don't do dummy units anymore, if memory serves. You guys don't go for powered and all your ABAs and such like that. Is there a particular reason for that? Is it just more cost effective or easier to sell them?
It's doing a dummy versus doing a powered one. The price really is not that different nowadays. Mm-hmm. So we just do them all powered.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Yeah. In the end of the day, you just lash them up, you run them, and who's going to complain about more power in their engine, especially if there isn't going to be that much of a difference in terms of price. Might as well, what's a little bit extra to get the full shebang.
Yeah, absolutely. These are really cool. Yeah, I'm with John. That New Haven is gorgeous.
No, it's
really
the New Haven diesel. You literally can own nothing else. Like, DL109s, PAs, sure. But the FL9, my God, it's like the GG1 of F units. They were still in service in the 2000s, for God's sake.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Yeah, no, really, really cool.
Did any new road names get added to this one? This is one of those where, as a West Coaster, I'm very ignorant. Anything was changed on these prior to the catalog release?
I added a couple, or I think I just kind of tweaked it a little bit, but I don't think I added anything new. Checking my email because I'm talking to one of my guys. We were talking about adding something. There might be something added. I don't know what it is right now because I'd have to dig deeper in my email, but just there may be one more offering. One more
like Conrail.
I was going to say, was there a Conrail with the yellow nose possibly? I think someone was asking about that. That could be one.
That might be.
Potentially. I know there are requests for I think some weird MTA Long Island leaser at some point.
Oh,
I know
yeah.
that was one.
Long Island,
I know that's not on the list currently.
Long Island people wanting specific stuff? What? No.
It was an MTA PC version in blue and yellow.
Okay.
I see that added. Mm-hmm.
Okay,
yep,
did
that.
There
was a yellow somewhere.
But if there are other schemes that we missed, by all means, people, please reach out to me.
Mm-hmm.
There you
paint
go.
schemes are easy.
Yeah, guys. Like I said, Jay is constantly updating the site. offering new things. So if you initially saw the catalog and went, oh, I wish I could get one, but they're not doing what I want, check the website, see if it's there. If not, reach out to Jay and request for it, because there's a chance that someone else might be also wanting the exact same version. So more people order, the more likely that those models are going to be made.
That's exactly. I mean, they'll take minimums. I mean, because paint schemes, they're easy compared to like actual detail, but it still takes time. It takes a lot of revision. It takes a lot of work on our end over here. And the incredible guys that I work with behind the scenes that are doing all this design work for me.
That's awesome.
John, I feel like you would know this. If you blow it up on the website, it's an AA. Was that how these were typically ran? Were they ran in pairs or was it singles?
For the FL9s, you really only saw that, I feel like, on New Haven, and I feel like I've occasionally seen it in Penn Central era. If there was a really heavy train, you will see two coupled back to back. I know the Merchant usually would have at least two of these FL9s on the front. So if you're modeling heavy New Haven passenger traffic, might want to think about getting two of these, because that did occur quite frequently on the New Haven. They were just they were more or less the F units of New Haven. So maybe think about getting two.
No kidding. Cool.
There you go.
Perfect. All right. Well, let's go to the showstopper of the catalog, the one that everyone went buck nutty for. John, you want to introduce these?
Yeah, no, I don't know what you're talking about. What? The what end?
No idea.
No,
what is this thing?
Oh my
God!
god!
You skip it then.
It's in my opinion personally, it's the third rail engine. It is the NNW M class, the Molly, the Mastodon, by any other name. Yeah, I mean, freaking, you got, for one thing, you got 475, which I think 475 probably makes up about half, like all its different versions. It's probably half of the run of these engines, is it not?
I would say so, yeah, because we're doing 4 different versions. I mean, from when the Strasbourg owned it alone, we're doing a 90s, a 2000s, 2010s, 2020. Granted, thankfully, they gave us a lot we could model over the past 30 years. But yeah, those definitely make up, I would say, close to half. I mean, a lot of guys are coming out, kind of just getting them for revenue service, revenue modeling, where I would say it's probably even 30% of the guys that are ordering these are getting them in 2-rail as well.
I have heard a lot about that. We've got a good buddy of ours, Tony, who does third rail. I think he's ordering 2 of these already, and I was like, "Come on, man, get the third one, get a 2-rail one that you want. You want it." Yeah, these are one of those engines that look really good. Like, it's just if you've ever seen one of these running before, they have a very unique look to them when they run in real life too, but especially the model. It's a very unique, because we don't get a lot of small NNW steam. NNW owned, according to modelers, 3 things: Ys, As, and Js. That's it. Nothing else. Maybe you get some variation
and,
to Y6
and streamlined Js at that.
Yes, exactly. So the fact that we're getting, a small engine like this, that not only you get, oh my God, you get Strasbourg, probably the best tourist railroad seller name of all. But you're also getting all the different variations. Jay, you and I know all the different freaking variations of the Molly, between headlights and tenders and this and that and the other thing, and then this way, that way. My God. I mean, I know personally, you and I went back and forth on a couple of the finding research on the variations for this. So, yeah, I mean, tell us a little bit about the Mollys, man.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, I mean, we did them probably about 15 years ago, and it was one of those things, too, that was kind of popular, not too popular, and they sold out the first run. There was a fair number of guys that wanted them for a second run, but they never really hit the quota. And just kind of talking to the community and just the true magnitude of people reaching out about these engines really was like, okay, this is a no-brainer. And yeah, talking with you and figuring out different variants and looking deeper into like even just the headlight being different from the 90s to the 2000s, this makes a lot of sense. And it's like we talked about earlier. I mean, it's the guys, there are some guys that are ordering, in service a 90s and a 2010 because they're so different, yet they're so similar at the same time.
I gotta ask about this, because when we first met at the March meet, you had brought up the Mollys. I asked you, I'm like, Jay, you guys have you ever convinced Scott to do the Mollys again? Because man, people really want these, and we asked him on the podcast, but he said, no, there's no interest in steam. People don't really want that. We get more orders and diesels. Obviously, the reaction from the folks from the community when you guys made this announcement, not only with just the Mollies, but the other steamers in this catalog as well. What's been your guys' reaction to the demand for people being really excited for Steam, or more specifically, how has Scott reacted to all this?
Scott's very surprised. He really didn't think there was much of a future in this Steam because of the price, because it was getting very expensive. And I mean, me being an HO guy, I'm like, okay, HO stuff's creeping up as well. I mean, we're paying $1,000 now for brass hybrids. And just kind of looking across the board, and I'm like, okay, this is what's happening in other realms and other manufacturers. And I'm like, okay, if we did one, I mean, we're at this point a couple $100 more than retail of a diecast or a brass hybrid, an O scale. And I was like, trust me on this. Let me just have some faith in me on this, and let me see where it goes. And like I was telling him about all this stuff on social media and this outreach and all these guys that were coming to me. And he said, well, let's run it. And what other Steam do you want to see run too?
Man, I'm so glad that these are doing so well. And the orders from what you've described have been pouring in. People are so excited. And, with Lionel teasing us with the Strasbourg 90 and with 89, it's only natural for folks to want that last one. And I know that, they were a bit hesitant to do 475. So that only made the demand for these in the secondhand market go even higher. But my goodness, when people saw these in the catalog, the reaction was crazy. People were wanting one, and they were like, I want to get this one and this one and this one. And now is the best time for any Strasbourg modeler to get these engines, and as well for as well as for the NW guys. I know you're doing the early, I think early as built scheme. I've heard it's either referred to early as built or excursion. I've heard mixed on what they are.
As built.
But yeah, okay, as built. But our buddy Carmine, I'm sure you've ran into him one way or another. He is a very eccentric person when it comes to with his experience with modeling and such like that. And he is a big fan of that era of railroading with the big diamond stacks and all the extra accoutrements on the engine to make it look really fancy. And I remember when you and I were discussing this, I'd asked you if you were doing this particular version. And you were like, oh, we aren't doing that one yet. And I remember explicitly saying, would you consider doing this? Because if I don't ask, Carmine will rocket my house. and those were added shortly afterwards. But for those guys who are really like, I know Matt Z, you were a big fan of that scheme and style as well. I know for those who want that and have seen the photos circulating around on the internet, this is exciting for them too.
That is the one, the balloon stack as delivered. That is the one. I tell them all the time, like I show them the picture. I'm like, it's the as built. I'm like, that's the one to buy. You know what I mean? Oh man,
that's
beautiful.
Gonna be. I think that is honestly gonna be the sleeper collectible of that entire run. Genuinely think so.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And also,
for sure,
Matt Z, you know that they ran it that way when they put it back into that scheme in the 50s. You have to buy two other ones to triple head behind it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Sure.
That's how that goes, man. You just
wishful thinking, but oh man, that as delivered, I definitely gotta get that.
I can't wait.
You do. I will bully you if you do not.
Yep. Okay. Release the Ontos, Carmine. Release the Ontos.
Release the Ontos. There you go.
You heard it here first.
There you go. Another thing that I want to applaud is that not only obviously we're mentioning 475 as the main showrunner for this one, but you're also doing the variant that was in the Winston Link photography. Mm-hmm. You're doing a bunch of in-service ones. I know John is very passionate about those if he wants to quickly interject with that. But a lot of other ones, if you're not going for 475 and you want to go for a in-service, there are a lot of really cool options out there.
Yeah, the big one the one that I was most passionate about, that was my personal suggestion, was the getting the combo of large tender but still had the high headlight. I'm from Virginia. I'm very passionate about stuff from this area. And while it's not technically my area of the state, the Virginia Creeper is a legendary. It sounds obscene, but it's not. That was like the legendary end of steam train that O. Winston Link would always photograph. It's some of his most famous photos. Specifically, number 382 was heavily photographed by him. And that is the engine. That's one of the two engines that I found with that configuration. And so that, I think the other one was like a cool number, like 444 or something. But that, along with a bunch of the other ones that you guys are doing, the central headlights and all these different fun combos, those engines lived such interesting lives. There were so many different versions of them. I'm sure it was insane having to get all that put together, and helping people find the right one, and everything. But you've done such a good job with that website. So what was it like? Just like, was it kind of crazy learning about all the other ones and stuff? Like, you guys have been very receptive to all this input. So yeah.
It was definitely crazy because all of this was happening during NMRA Nationals. And I was trying to just get everything uploaded and updated as quick as possible because I truly didn't realize the magnitude and the wave, the tsunami that this was going to create.
Oh, yeah.
And I was just trying to be on top of it. I mean, I was chatting with you guys during the show. I was on the phone with Scott during the show, just trying to get everything done and up. And I mean, I'm pretty sure it's all there now. But
oh, yeah. No, it is for sure. Yeah. Double check if you still are thinking about ordering a Molly. Go back and look. He's got it so like it loads a photo of the type of engine you're going to get, everything. Like, it's really good.
Yeah, that's the biggest feature enhancement that I say that I know that was a bit confusing for folks when they first navigated the website during launch. But trust me, for anybody in the Discord who's had questions, either John stepped in to help you find the one you're looking for, or I noted all the things that you guys were confused on the website and got that to Jay so we could update that as soon as he could. But yeah, go on the website right now. If there's one that you were confused about, Jay has spent a lot of time going ahead and making sure that each version has an associated photo with it. So that way you're not guessing, you know exactly what you're getting. So the photo of whatever corresponding version is on there. And then of course, if you have any further questions, reach out to him as well.
Yep. Sounds good.
Right.
Absolutely. If I could, I would definitely want to do the next one if I could, please. Very close to my heart. Johnny's favorite diesel, the General Electric U-boat with its super round stubby nose he loves so much.
Ugh.
Loves the U-boat. This, oh my God, again, filling the niches with the fun diesels. We have always been cursed to only have two types of U-boat: massive 3-axle, or tiny little U-25B with the weird Cyclops window. So the fact we're getting these small 4-axle U-boats is so freaking great. And I know this is something you and I also talked about a little bit. The variations. I know there are some people who are really into their southern schemes, me included, but there's some fun variants in these. You want to tell us a little bit about the U-boats?
Yeah, I mean, it was one of those ideas that kind of came from chatting with the guys. I had other ideas that I was like, oh, this has never been done, or this hasn't been done in a long time. And I don't honestly remember how we got to this or who suggested this or what even happened to get to it. But I started looking and I'm like, okay, even in HO scale, these are insanely popular. And it was just kind of where take that mantra where it's like, where is the void and how can we fill it? And I mean, doing some of these really interesting variants like the SCL, the Q23-7, the crew cab.
That's the one.
I didn't even know what that was until photos started coming in. And I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. And next thing I know, I'm like, oh, a lot of you guys think it's pretty cool. There's a lot of orders. And
yeah.
I mean, it's stuff like that. I mean, the Southern, the high hoods. I mean, it just kind of gives you guys an opportunity to have really niche models.
I will say that we were discussing, you had some other offerings that you were considering doing that I think would do well at a later point. But for first big catalog in a long time, we were discussing what diesels would do well, and this kind of shows for our community. You know, I said this on the day of catalog release. You know, Jay, you're part of our Discord community, and you're lurking in there and seeing what people are saying, and you respond to people's questions and recommendations there. But I remember asking people that saw the SD70s, and there's a lot of people who are and that's why we discussed this earlier when we talked about how that was a big part for 2-rail. For 3-rail, we have quite a few options. People were going, well, we want to see engines that haven't been made yet. So I had asked the question of what engines haven't been made, because I'm not a big diesel guy. And one of our community members, and I'm going to give them credit here because they're the ones who brought up this idea, Notorious VIG, they had given a whole slew of diesels that had never been done in 3-rail that I wasn't aware of.
That's right.
And I I had compiled that, and they had mentioned the U-boats, and within a few minutes, there were like 3 to 5 people who already agreed, like, oh my God, if they did these, I'd be in for a couple of them immediately. I'm like, this seems like a big thing. So I sent those to you the next morning, and you were like, oh wow, no one's done these. Yeah, we could easily do these. So it's one of those things where we're really proud of our community here. And when people are recommending things, we like to kind of get those to the folks who really need that information. So for you guys in the Discord, if you're lurking, if you guys are sending something in the chat, Jay's watching or I'm watching, and I get the information to him or what have you. So this is one of the things where we're really glad that our community can have a hand in recommending that there.
I mean, this is one of the Discord groups that I don't have muted, like other ones I'm in. So everything that gets,
I'm honored.
Everything in the count. I mean, our group, everything in the podcast group and Joker's group. I mean, I'm seeing all of that. And if I see any mention or any question, not even directed at me, nobody even tagged me in it, but it's regarding a third rail. I mean, if it's something we offered or something we did a long time ago and they have a question, I mean, yeah, I'll jump on it. I mean, it's easy. It's on my phone, on the app. I mean, it takes 10 seconds. Why not? I mean, just want to be there.
The SP or as this picture here, the cotton belt, and you know where I'm going with this, Johnny. All them lights, come on, man. I love it.
Oh, like I said, you melted the freaking Seaboard fans' brains by offering. That was something like, again, that was like, oh, this is never gonna get done. I don't even do that road. I mean, I'm a Southern guy, so the fact you're doing high hoods and a chassis is like, you are awful. I hate that you put this in the same catalog as tamales, because I'm probably going to need to get these at some point if these are staggered well enough with the other things. But my God, yeah, again, this is so, it wasn't even on, I think, my radar personally. Like, why did I not think of the B-class U-boats? This is, again, nobody has done this. Nobody. This is filling, I feel like, that's like Jerry. No one's done it. This is just insane to see these actually being made in O scale. So good on you guys, for real.
Thank you. I mean, that's, like I said, I mean, I take a lot of, inspiration from Rapido and HO. They were doing things that really were kind of out of left field, but made a lot of sense and made a lot of modelers happy, but weren't super mainstream. But I mean, it's even like doing the Southern with the high hoods on the Jeep 30s, on the SD40-2s, on these. I mean, it's like, you have to do it. It's like going to communion and not getting the wine. I mean, you have to do it all.
Yep. Excellent analogy.
I noticed on the website it says undecorated as one of the options.
Yes.
What's the story with that one?
I've gotten a lot of requests for undecorated just models. I don't know what people want to paint them as, but I figured we're getting a lot of questions. Why not just offer an undecorated one?
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh my God. Brilliant. Great idea. Seriously, a lot of people, whenever, because some shops will do custom runs of just undecorated stuff, they usually always sell out. So offering that right away, I think you're going to at least get another quarter, of people who would be like, I want to get, because I feel like a lot of those want into industrial service, and they might be like too small of a run to do with like as an actual piece, but like decaling and stuff, you can absolutely move that. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm. No, exactly. I mean, even with other models too, we get requests, and I might even do an undecorated FL9 because I'm not sure what railroad it is. They reached out to me and they were like, hey, we actually have one of these restored. Could you do us? What would your minimum be? And I don't think they could hit the minimum, but I was like, there's a lot of good custom painters out there. We can maybe do an undecorated if that would make it easier for you guys. But I mean, it kind of goes to like what I learned at NMRA. I mean, I've known this too, but it's what guys want to do. I mean, it's their imagination. It's their railroad. I mean, they want to paint it as they wish. They paint it as they wish.
That's great. That's great that you're offering that option. And on the same vein of options, this list keeps growing. And because there are so many, you have the B23s, B30s, and the B36s, it's hard to keep up with how many there are. But for guys, if you're interested in these engines, please check out the website. There's so many different options. Like, I'm looking at, you have the crew cab options, you have the maintenance away versions, you have one guy in our Discord, had asked for the BC Rail Blue scheme, and he was like, "Man, I really wanted these, but but they didn't offer them. Dang, I really wish that we could." I sent you the picture and the screenshot, and you had it added shortly afterwards, and I made his day by letting him know that was added. He went, "Oh, really?" And he had ordered one, or was considering ordering one. So, if you want these particular engines, like I said, these are a first in the industry for 3-rail. Check it out. Check out the options, and we'll go and go from there.
Looking for something different? Need a gift for a fellow rail fan? Well, folks, look no further. NPL Customs is your source for all railroading decor. Handcrafted, made in the USA, and veteran-owned. Their products made for rail fans, by rail fans. I personally have a set of coasters from them that I absolutely love. Find them on Etsy at NPL Customs and use code MMPodcast at checkout to save 10%. NPL Customs, quality since 2017.
Kind of moving forward, so those are kind of the end of the brand new announcements. You guys do have a couple other projects in the works, as you had mentioned, GP30s, Erie Belts, F7s, E8s, E9s, the EL3As from the Virginian, and then the Alleghenies. Is there anything you want to kind of touch base on when it comes to those particular models?
Regarding those, I could say the first out of that lineup that will be here next year, early next year, will most likely be the F7s. It's pretty close between F7s and the E8s, E9s right now, but I'm assuming the F7s will be first just based on the numbers we're getting and the interest. Followed by that is going to be the Jeep 30s. People are coming out. A lot of people didn't even know we were doing Jeep 30s, and I'm happy they know now, or that'd probably be the next diesel out next year. And then, like we said, the E89. And in the E89, we're offering like the UP Heritage, they call them the executive ones as well, with all the proper extra details. I mean, like you can see the picture. Granted, it's an HO model in the catalog, but it's a friend of mine. It was a good example he did, a good modification he did with those ditch lights. And we're also adding the Union Pacific Preamble Express, which was the precursor to the American Freedom Train, which a lot of people don't know about.
That's a really cool set, and that's a really nice engine. I know Lionel did their Preamble set not too long ago, so if anybody wants the cars, they can probably hunt down one of those sets and get one of these new ones. This is going to be me as a bit of a particular modeler here in terms of why I really appreciate your e-units compared to the competition out there. Obviously, like I said before, each of them have their own benefits. With Lionel, you have their command control system legacy, and with MTH, you have theirs with DCS. And that's if that's what you like, that's what you like, and go for it. With Lionel's, one of the things that I always personally didn't really like is that their nose shapes are too tall, and they're with an E unit, the nose curves upwards, and it goes at a slant. With Lionel's, it's straight up and then it curves. So we've dubbed them Toblerones because they look like giant trapezoids. So getting a nicely proportioned E unit is really difficult. So that's why for anybody who's looking for a nice E unit, I really recommend the real ones because they are spot on. And of course, with the F units and E units, you guys come on, guys, we need fixed pilots for those. You can't not have a fixed pilot for those if you have the curves that allow it. So these are beautiful engines. I got your E7s that came out not so long ago in Daylight. I love mine. I actually recently upgraded mine to PS3 by our buddy Lou on one of our other Discords. And they're fantastic engines. I ordered the Union Pacific in service ones to go with my my pasture cars, and God, these are nice engines. If you love E units and you want the nicest ones out there, what do you think? And go ahead and grab one of these engines. They're fantastic.
Yeah, and like you said, Johnny, I mean, if you want a Preamble Express unit, by all means, go for one of ours. But Lionel did a pretty good job on their cars, and we have no plan to do that train set. So by all means, I mean, pair away.
Exactly. You can mix and match. It's your railroad.
There you go.
That's it. The quickly on the fixed pilot thing. I you guys listen to me. You know how I love these. On E8s and E9, any cab unit really, the fixed pilot make a huge difference. Having that, especially on the front, on the rear, with the cars, but on the front, oh man, having the nice KD and scale, oh, it looks so nice, real nice.
Yeah,
it really.
And you guys make it. you guys make it really easy to swap. For anybody who is interested and this is your first third rail model, like I said, I have the E7s. I've done work on our buddy Rafe's F units as well, and his E units. If you want to, these come with, if they're 3 rail, they come with the big lobster claws up the front. But with third rail models, you guys get the ability to swap it with the 2-rail pilot by just removing 2 screws. And removing the coupler has always been easy. You don't, unlike other manufacturers, you don't have to take the entire engine apart. There's a little plug that's connected to the truck. You just undo the plug, swap the pilot in, put in your KDs. A really simple process. Doesn't take you more than maybe like 5-10 minutes, if even that.
Actually, here, I do have a question on these, and it does relate to pilots. On maybe not this particular run, but would there be a option maybe on another engine to do like closed pilots without a coupler?
Not on this run, but definitely we've done them before. We've done pilot variations with snow plows. I'm even looking at doing some really cool ones. I don't know if we could do it this F7 run, but I mean, I know Johnny's going to know about these, but the SP F7s with those massive snow plows.
Oh,
I think that's
that now.
cool.
Western Pacific too, I think.
Western Pacific had the really, really big one. UP had a couple of them too, where it kind of goes back to that point where they're just added details. They're not too much work. I mean, the design to make sure everything fits, everything looks right, yes. But in the grand scheme, it's like we can do these little things. I mean, for you guys that really want to model something super specific, where it's just one more added part.
These are personal attacks now, Jay. So one of the things where, because we both like the same railroad, it's a double-edged sword, because it's not very hard for me to recommend an SP from SP thing to you, and then but inversely, you also want to do them. So I'm like, oh, I want them.
It's a case of you just don't be careful what you wish for. You just might get it.
I gotta recommend nothing but East Coast for your next runs.
No, we're good. We're good.
No, please
Keep
don't.
doing SP. We're fine.
No.
Do Canadian stuff. To give Dan what he wants.
Yeah. Come on, Canadian.
Canadian. There you go. I gotta ask selfishly before we move on. This is kind of partially related to the units. Not about the particular product, but just kind of as an SP guy, what's your opinion on it? What's your 2 cents on the Black Widow E's? Do you like them, or do you think they look weird?
I think it was a cool experiment. I think leaving it the experiment would be safe. Would it hurt to own one? No. Do I own one in HO? Yes. Do I think tossing the Halloween scheme in on the F7s would be pretty cool? Yeah. Have I done it yet? No. Might I? I don't know. We'll see.
You would probably get Lou to order one, because he's been taunting me with that scheme. I don't dislike it. I just think it looks a bit weird, but I think that's the consensus with most folks for the Halloween scheme. But he's been wanting to repaint a spared A unit. But I know if you did those, he'd probably have to at least think about getting one of those. So that would probably do well. It's one of those weird one-off variants.
It's like I told you. I mean, I'm an HO guy, but getting deeper into this O scale world. I mean, this might hurt you in the long run when it comes to SP models, Johnny, because I would say that there's going to be a few more done. Because I want them to.
It's the vicious cycle.
This sucks too, to be a closet SP guy, because then I'm like, well, they like all these things and they're going crazy over them, but I'm like, oh, I have some of these too. Great.
It's not very hard for me to convince Madzi to join in on the SP fun. I was peer pressuring him with a few other the offerings, which we'll touch base on just in a second. But yeah, no, awesome to see these. And for anybody who wants some of the nicest F units or F units, E units that are on the market, as well as any other models, definitely check those out, and we'll have you look into those. But kind of before we move on to some of the passenger car offerings from Golden Gate Depot, I do want to bring up a rumor that's been circulating. And obviously, I know you can't say too much, but we'd be scolded if we didn't get a chance to ask it. There's some rumors that you guys are looking into potentially new electronics for as a replacement or for ERR on models and such. So, could you give us any insight on if the rumors are true, or any insight behind that?
I can say rumors are rumors. Sometimes they're true, sometimes they're not. But I know it's not a secret that we have a lot of ERR boards, and we're planning on using them because we have a lot of guys that do love their ERR. I mean, able to run on Lionel, easy, super, just to run over their products. So I can say the rumors are there, and we'll just time will tell.
Ooh.
keep an eye out on social medias is the best way to keep up to date with what Jay is scheming, if anything is happening.
It's a good idea. It's a good idea.
There you go. That's it.
You very much if it's not very hard to read, look behind the teasers.
Whatever
that's
do you
awesome.
mean, Johnny? Who is gleaning anything from this?
But all right, we appreciate that.
Yeah, for real.
Let's touch base on. Obviously, we're mostly 3Rail Owen here, but we can go ahead and touch base on some of the other projects you're working on. For example, I believe you had 2 HO Steam projects that you're also doing, both SP.
Yeah, we actually left a couple out by accident too. We didn't mean to on the HO side, but for the HON3 side of brass SP modelers, we are looking at doing the Southern Pacific Slim Princess, which was a narrow gauge 460. And Union Terminal Imports actually started this project probably 10 or so, almost 10 years ago. And they decided they just didn't want to do it. They wanted to retire. They wanted to just enjoy their own trains. So we were working with them a little bit and got the design where we're going to be working with Boo Rim Precision, who is a world-class, top of the top brass manufacturer over in Korea. And we were working with them on that project. ETA is TBD because we still need reservations to see them come to life. And then the other HO brass project in the catalog are the Southern Pacific C11, C12 consolidations in conjunction with the St. Louis Southwestern K-class consolidations. Since the C11s and C12s were actually bought from the SSW and just renumbered, tenders changed, we figured it was a very easy kind of pairing. And it's funny because the St. Louis Southwestern guys are actually beating out the SP guys probably 3-1 on reservations on these.
That's
Wow.
crazy.
So for our HO guys too, needless to say, we're hearing your cries for more brass steam. They're not going unnoticed and they're not going unheard. And there may be another HO scale brass steam engine announced that may or may not be following what we just announced in O scale.
Ooh. Okay.
So, obviously 2 big contenders, which one of the 2 could it be? And only time will tell.
All right. Well, that's awesome. And I know we have a community of HO guys who follow us as well, so that's very exciting. And also, I wouldn't mind seeing those consolidations come to 3Rail ever. That might be cool, but please wait.
Yes, of course.
All right. So with the engines out of the way, we can go ahead and move over to Golden Gate Depot, which is your passenger car line offering. So let's go ahead and we'll dive into those. First up are ones that I know Bryce in our Discord has been begging Scott for years. He's made multiple OGR posts about it. And I know, John, you are very partial to these cars as well. The 54 reefers. Yeah, you want to take these one, John?
Sure, if you don't mind. Yeah. No. Oh my God. Thank you so much. I think I think this was the one thing I maybe would like. Even though I don't know if I asked him on the air, but I was like, Scott, please, when we did our show with Third Row, it's like, Scott, please, will you please rerun these cars? These were like, again, this was unobtainium for someone who loves head end rolling stock. This is the car. This is the car that you need that makes everything. It's a couple of them. The Atlas 53.6s, the MTHR 50Bs, and this. Like this and the Weaver the B60s and this car. Those are the 4 the holy ones that you need to get. So the fact that you guys are redoing this, multiple road numbers you can get. How does that work? Is it like a matrix that you can get of different road numbers? How does that all work, actually? I'm curious, just personally.
With these, we're not going to be super, super heavy like in the road numbers, like offering specific ones like we do on passenger cars. But typically what we do is we will do the most. Okay, so if one person orders, let's say 8, we will do 8 specific road numbers to that one paint scheme.
Oh, wow.
So we'll do up to the highest number reserved by one person in that one scheme.
That's really cool.
That's very interesting.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Wondered how that worked, but yeah, no. Oh my God, can't wait to hear about these. What was the driving force behind wanting to do these ones again?
The driving force was seeing, just because I peruse brasstrains.com a lot, and seeing the fact that not the brass ones we did, but the plastic ones we did, will regularly fetch $300 on brass trains if they can even last longer than an hour on there.
Yeah,
was a wake up call to do these again. And of course, you guys in the Discord saying you should do them, and people Instagramming, messaging me and everything. But I mean, that's kind of where the market definitely dictated, like, there's a need for these. And I know we're coming out at a really affordable price on these. I think we're around 130. And it just is one of those things where we've done them. We did them, I mean, really, really well, where I don't even know if there's anything to change on these. I'd have to look into the design.
I don't think
But
so.
I mean, we can do them, and we can do them well, and we can do them affordably, because we know that's one of the biggest issues right now in the industry is affordability. So we feel like coming in kind of just with everybody else, what they're charging for higher end rolling stock, I thought that was a good place to kind of let these guys land at.
The price point is extremely competitive for for the 130 mark.
Mm-hmm.
You can get a high end like plastic freight car for that, or you can get one of these. And these are so specific and exclusive to you guys. It's one of those things where even if I know that for those who are getting into Golden Gate Depot and third rail products, the sticker shock can be a bit much if you're not used to that, or not knowing the market. But with these, since they go on the same price as like a normal freight car, you got to get one of these if you can.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, it's one of the things, even with all the stuff I've gotten ordered, I'm like, oh, if these are still available for pre-order, I must get
What
one.
do you think? Which one are you thinking of getting, Johnny? An REA? Santa Fe?
I don't
Fe.
know. I'll have to consult with you, and then you'll convince me to do something,
Oh,
or Lou
please
will
do.
whisper in my ear. Yeah, you know how this goes.
Of course. It's like we've done
Oh,
this
yeah.
before.
I got to get the B&Os for my now growing B&O Steam collection.
The only one of two in all of O scale, I believe, only one of two models that has ever been done with the correct all blue head end scheme. The other one being the Atlas wagon top boxcar.
And
only one of
and
two. How crazy is that?
The nice part is if I get my act together and hurry it up, Beth has got a couple of these, so I'm thinking, I could order some of these new ones and have some extras.
Absolutely.
There you go.
Yeah, it's easy to get at least two of these, in any scheme, because there's so many, they're so plentiful.
And the fun part with these is, I mean, I've been to a lot of guys that model very specific O scale, I mean, 2-rail guys, but these did traverse all over the country.
Oh yeah.
I mean, Great Northern could end up in New York. The B&O could end up, I mean, down in Los Angeles. I mean, it happened, and they look good too. I mean, tossing into an SP train, tossing in the Great Northern into a B&O. I mean, it makes sense, and it's kind of cool. I mean, I'm even planning on picking up a couple of the more oddball ones, like the ACL. I'm like, I don't model that, but I think it could be pretty cool.
I'm gonna hate myself for asking you this question as a fellow SP modeler, because I'm trying to convince myself not to get one, but I know it's not going to happen. I'm pretty sure I've seen videos of these on SP's mail train, the Sad Sam, right? They had to be on it. Oh,
SP they ran a lot of the REA, just standard REA ones. However they leased out or however they used them. But that, yeah, definitely. I mean, if you dive in, those were on there, unfortunately for you.
Oh goodness! Time to go watch a bunch of Charles Smiley videos.
I have to get one.
Well, as I said, if you're new to Golden Gate Depot or third rail models, and you want to try kind of seeing what they have to offer, but you don't want to put a huge order that might make you look very longingly at your empty wallet, take a look at these. These are definitely much worth it, and these will definitely be very collectible in the future. All right, let's move on to the next thing here. Oh goodness! Speaking of things that'll make me cry, it's back to back, Jay. Come on, my wallet can only take so much. It's already on life support. The Harriman cars. These are ones that are very, very cool. In fact, you can see a picture of mine that I had from the last time you guys did these on the back cover. These are SP cars. They're shorter Harrimans, and they are coming back in a plethora of road names and offerings. So Jay, what's the insight behind these?
I mean, this was another one kind of like with the reefers, where I see they're fetching just ridiculous money on eBay. People are paying $300, $400, $500 for these plastic cars that we did. And I'm like, okay, if we do them again, we're not going to be anywhere near that in price. I mean, this is another one of our more affordable options around the 240 mark on these per car, where, I mean, the SP guys, they're pumped. But if you model anything else, I mean, anything 1920s to 1940s, 50s, that's where we added in like New York Central, we added in Santa Fe, Reading, Erie, a couple other ones, because guys want these. They're shorter, they're 17 inches. and you can run them on really tight radiuses and be really happy with them.
Yeah, not many Golden Gate Depot cars you can say that would hit the 048 radius and 3-rail. Oh, sorry, the 042 radius and 3-rail. So definitely really nice cars. The detailing on these are great. As a person who owns the previous run, the roof details, you guys also include a bunch of extra stuff. Observations are beautiful. I know you had mentioned, are there any changes done to the observations compared to the last run?
We will be redoing the interior. I'm not sure. I haven't seen an O-scale version of this in person in a long time, so I don't remember. But on the HO side, we made these as kind of as chair cars, where the interior was just a bunch of seats. But this time around, the interiors will be completely redone. They'll be treated more like a business parlor car. That's kind of where we need to go and decide, okay, do we treat these as business cars and have more compartments? Have them more tailored to, the few individuals that were in them, or set them up as parlor cars. But the interior will be different on that. It'll be a little more forgiving for however you're modeling. And I even threw in a fun one on this, which is the Sacramento Southern scheme, because growing up in California, I went to the California State Railroad Museum a lot, and they have 60-foot two-tone gray Harriman cars, and I thought that'd be a really fun one to toss in. And if there are any other, excursion railroads that exist that people are listening to that know about, and they have these cars, message me, because it's one of those things where I find the nostalgia in that. It makes me happy, makes me think of my childhood. I can do it. We can probably do it too for you guys.
Yeah, these are great. And I can confirm, yes, in O-scale, the seats on the previous run observations were definitely just rows of seats, because that's how mine's set up. But yeah, no, these cars are great. And my God, like John, you've seen mine in person when I was running them with my MT at the bunker when you were visiting here last for the convention. They're very nice cars. They're very easy to transport if you want to take them to a club. And then there's so many different offerings. Matt Z and I were pouring over these the other day. All for the SP guys that are different. You got two-tone gray, you've got your green, you've got SP lines, SP, and then you're also doing this. You're doing the silver and red scheme for head end cars. Yeah. Those are really cool.
The SP guy came out at me when I was looking at our HO project, and I'm like, these would be cool to be in HOs in an O scale. Why don't we do them? It's like we tossed in the daylight too. I don't know if anybody's really caught that yet, but a lot of people were asking about daylight because there were in fact daylight head end Harriman cars. Granted, they were different lanes, but they did exist. There may have been a coach or two that were in daylight scheme for the TNNO. I'm not sure of, but you guys wanted them, so of course we can do them.
Yeah, I think one of the head end cars was used for the Sacramento daylight, if memory serves me right. Yeah, I was looking at those. I was like, yeah, those would be nice to go with for a San Joaquin or something for head end. So,
but wait for the San Joaquin. That's my piece of advice.
Okay, that I like that advice. I'll do that. And then
spending my money too. What the hell is this?
And to make it even worse, as we know, we're doing P14s. We know they pulled the Sunbeam. We SP guys know what cars made up the Sunbeam. We know what cars made up the San Joaquin. We know what cars made up the Coast and the Morning Daylight. So could this be a hint? Could I just be talking? I don't know, but we'll see.
Cryptic as always. Huh?
This is one of those moments where I'm both happy I'm not an SP like modeler, but also sad because it's one of those cases of, okay, I don't need to buy this, but also it's like, man, look at all the it's that meme of Squidward looking out the window at Patrick and SpongeBob running. It's like the quality on those things. Like I said, Johnny, when we were running them together at the bunker there, it's just one of those moments. It's like, man, look at the prototypicality. It's like, man, I wish I got something like that for one of the East Coast roads. So it definitely pays to be an SP modeler if you like third rail for sure. Those are going to be great.
Yeah.
Cars.
And just to add there, it's not just the West Coasters who are getting the love on this one. I know Bryce very much advocated for these as well. If you're an East Coaster, these are also being offered in Lackawanna, Jersey Central, Erie, Reading, and I think New York Central as well.
Yes.
So if that piques your interest, check those out. And another thing that Jay added recently, if you haven't checked it since the catalog debut, you could buy these as a full 6-car set. But if you're like me and you already have the previous runs and you want to add a car that you don't have, so in my case, I don't have the all-day lunch car, you can buy some of these cars separate sale. They go for about $234, $235, and then the 6-car set currently is at $12.99. So if you want the full set or a single sale car, those options are now available to you. So once again, check out the website.
There you go. No reason not to buy one.
Poverty is a reason not to buy one.
No. That's not a reason.
Hold on, John. We're gonna use the spare change.
Yeah, like I said, we have organs. Organs are you can't play with your organs, okay?
But yeah, very cool cars. And then let's go on to the next big announcement for this particular catalog in terms of the passenger sets. The Empire Builder. This is one that I know a lot of folks are very excited for.
Oh, yeah.
And not only for the Empire Builder, but there are also other things being offered alongside it. Jay, these are going to be a really cool set. I know you have some new things planned for these cars as well. Do you want to give us some insight on those?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, this is another one of those almost kind of sleepers where we did do these about 6 years ago, and there was a lot of interest, but there was still a lot of interest that remained after the run was done. And I didn't realize, I think one of you guys in the Discord group helped me understand that a true blue sky, big sky blue was never done in O scale properly. K-Line apparently did it 20, 30 years ago. They did a good job, but I mean, as you guys say, they're harder to find than hen's teeth. Mm-hmm. So I figured, okay, we're doing this. And I looked at the cars. I'm like, okay, we can offer these in big sky blue as well. So that's kind of one of the fun additions to this project. We're also doing other roads for the dome coaches, sleepers, and the great domes. One where we haven't officially announced anything Amtrak in this run yet, but we are working on it. So if there's going to be an update with Amtrak Great Domes, because we've done those before when we did this run, if there's going to be Amtrak Dome coaches, Amtrak sleepers, we will keep you guys updated. But I'm really, really excited for this run because it's going to introduce a new level of interior super detailing that we've never seen mass market in O scale, where I've taken a lot of inspiration on the HO side from Fred Hill, who's the owner of the Coach Yard. And they produce, I mean, some of the finest passenger car models that anybody has ever seen, where we're going to we're not figuring out, but we know how to do it, where we're going to be doing extra details. Like if there's a table lamp that should be there, the lamp will be there. Should the lamp be lit? Of course the lamp should be lit. The lamp will be lit. Or little things like wall sconces. If the wall sconce belongs there, by all means, why not light it up? Why not put place settings with the little knives and the forks and the cups and everything? I mean, they do it in HO. Why don't we do it now?
This is going to be awesome that you guys are doing this. With O scale, we've kind of accepted the fact the best we're going to get is if the seats are painted, and if we're really, really lucky, we'll get figures. I know that is a topic of great debate recently with recent ongoings with certain manufacturers. But the fact that you guys are going the extra detail, the little place settings, or just the fact that lamps light up, like that's one of those things where we look at how Germany does things with their passenger sets and their O scale, and we're like, oh, why can't we have that? Why do we just get, plastic yellow interior insert for 21-inch passenger cars? So these are going to be great, and I'm very excited. Hopefully, we'll see more stuff like that moving to some of the other offerings you guys have later down the line.
That is kind of the plan. I mean, anything that was currently in production, unfortunately, I mean, doing these last minute changes would be difficult. But I mean, this is, like I've told you guys, like I was telling people at the NMRA show, this is going to be our new standard, where if you're ordering aluminum cars from us, if that level of detail, if it calls for that level of detail because it existed, so be it. I mean, the standing ashtrays, actually painted silver, not just white. I mean, we're going to really, not hold back on these cars because, talking to Scott, the capability's there, but Sunset never really knew if there was interest or not.
I think DJ is the best person to see what he can do. Like, he took your guys' last run of 3/4 domes, and he went full rapido on them. He put all the wallpaper in, the floor colors in, cross-referencing all the photos they used and of surviving 3/4 domes. Once you go ahead and something as small as just like painting the floors on those cars or painting the walls, does so much for that, and the fact you guys are not only just you guys are going above and beyond with detail. So I'm very excited to see how these are going to turn out, because if you want the Empire Builder, like with the ones that are available right now, this is going to be the best one in the market. No questions asked.
I mean, I actually found his video earlier today when I was scrolling around on YouTube, and I was looking at that, and I was like, wow, I mean, carpet, I mean, of course, printed carpet, but I'm like, that's something definitely strive for. It's not in the realm as of 2025, but I think kind of striving to that level, yes, like what Rapido did in HO. I mean, I've seen those 3/4 domes in person. They're incredible. And I think if we can figure out an economical way to offer that, I mean, I really think that'd be even more of a game changer than just doing these, I mean, with the lighting packages and everything inside like that.
Selfishly, I'm going to ask, the Lark isn't going to be part of that in terms of the super crazy interior detail, is it?
Well, I don't know yet. That's my little fun first O-scale SP passenger pet project. So we'll see.
I'm gonna hope you do. I want to gently encourage you to do that as a person who has that. But yeah, no, these are cool. John, Matt, you have anything you guys want to touch? You want to add on?
These would be really nice. I think like I said, the upgrades you guys are doing, they're gonna be really cool, and especially this being the standard. Maybe touch on another project that's down the line here, and maybe it's probably the same answer. But the UP Heritage cars, are they gonna have a similar treatment?
They're gonna have a similar treatment. We're not entirely sure what it's going to look like yet, because they are modernized. I mean, there's no table lamps, nothing like that as far as we know, because I've been in a lot of those cars. But they will achieve, I mean, besides just the incredible roof detail on like the Harriman and I think the Columbine, we're trying to not hold anything back on that project, because we feel like it deserves its time to shine. We're doing the executive units. I mean, we really want this to be an incredible kickoff to not only the UP Heritage fleet, because we did leave out a lot of cars, not purposely, but you can only do so many in each run. But we know there's a lot of cars left to do. We know that there's a lot of interest in really good UP city trains, since Wasatch models were the only O-scale company to really do a true prototypical passenger car, but it's in brass. They're unpainted. They're $1,000 each for 2-rail. It's incredibly expensive. So we're taking a lot of inspiration from there on eventually expanding maybe in the next year or so to offering City of LA or City of Portland or who knows what. Because the Train of Tomorrow from about 10 years ago actually was another really big, I mean, really popular thing that, I mean, maybe we're going to bring it back.
No one's done a scale City of San Francisco.
I was going to say City of San Francisco.
The most cursed train.
It really is.
The most unlucky
SP
train.
There's so much story you can offer with that one. And yeah, I'll echo Johnny and Matt. Anything where you're getting super detailed interiors. I was recently looking at some photos. I think it might have been from the show you were at, the NMRA show, where I think they have like a model competition to, for like super detailing and stuff. Was that show, or am I thinking of something else?
There was a portion of the show that was like people were submitting their models. So yeah, I think that's probably what you're thinking of.
Yeah, I think it was, where you see some of these interiors of these things, and it just gives it's one of those things you don't realize you're missing it until you actually see it, and then you look at everything else and it's like, what am I doing? I'm missing out on so much. It's almost a whole nother world of modeling, getting the interior. So the fact that you guys are offering that in your stuff is going to take it to a whole nother level with some of these sets. And again, for the price point that you're getting them, I mean, yeah, you might be paying a little bit more, but you're getting so much out of it. Like, you're never going to have to upgrade. I wouldn't even think you need to upgrade anything on these. I mean, you've got the train. That's it. You're ready to go.
Yeah, I mean, think of what the UP theater cars are going to look like.
Oh my God.
That clear view straight down the back. I mean, it's gonna be wild.
I gotta say, I'll be honest. I'll out myself, because I was skeptical of the UP excursion cars when they initially were announced, because I thought Lionel had done a pretty good job with them, and that's most probably just copium because I have the Lionel ones. Yeah. Those are really nice cars. They're the closest you're going to get prototype wise with a ready off the shelf manufacturer in terms of the die cast plastic market. Those are really nice cars, but with what you guys are planning and kind of talking with guys who are very much private car enthusiasts, you guys are really going all out for these. So if you want the whole 9 yards, seeing all the, if you care about the undercarriage detail, about the interiors, and you want the best of the best for your UP excursion trains, these are without a doubt, these are great. And this isn't just me sucking up because Jay's here. Like, genuinely, I'm quite impressed.
I mean, like what you said. I mean, Lionel did a good job on theirs. They did a really good job, but they've never been done to scale. I mean, Lionel killed it in what they did, but we know that there's 2-rail guys, especially too, that want these cars, where we have a lot of 2-rail orders.
That's gonna be awesome. That's gonna be awesome. I'm very excited to see what these come out, how these come out, and I know for sure I'm gonna be very upset with myself for not ordering these. But you know what? That's just the fate I've subjected myself to. So
there you go. Keeping quick on the UP theme, we're not done here. They got the water tenders too. Those would be really cool.
Yes. Those are really neat. I'm so glad you guys you're doing the new, as they are now, modernized aux tenders, if I remember correctly.
Pretty much like what the HO scale trains offering did, but we're doing an O scale. And I mean, they've never been done. It seemed like there was a demand for them. And yeah, I mean, when we do them, we'll do them we'll do the best as we can.
With the aux tenders in 3-rail, you're really limited to, prior to this announcement, you're really limited to the 90s style of the aux tenders, where they were very much still turbine tenders.
Yeah.
And without saying names, there was an attempt by another manufacturer to re-release those tenders in a modernized scheme, but they were just re-released as a retool of another of the, I think the big of the veranda tender, just repainted, which I think a lot of people were very disappointed by. I understand why. Tooling is expensive. It's not as easy just to go ahead and make a new tender when you're in the world of diecast. But for the guys, like I said, if you're an excursion guy, if you like these, if you're wanting one of these are the tender to get. If at the very minimum, if you want to get just one thing and you can't go for the passenger cars, go for the aux tenders. These will be so desirable moving forward.
Yeah, definitely. As a quick aside, I got the FEF, and I'm like, man. Get the one with the flag on it to run with that. That'd be cool.
Oh, those are so nice, man. You have to get them.
I say, and it's your FEF. So, oh my god.
It used to be my FEF, but now I got my new one.
Enjoying this week's topic? You can join in on the conversation too on our community Discord server. We have a lot of different discussion channels, ranging from showing off your collection, discussing the latest and greatest in the industry, a buy and sell forum, and even a voice channel you can hop on, call, and talk trains with us late into the night. We're a little over 300 strong, and we'll love to have you join us too. Check out the invite link to our community Discord down in the show notes. Read and acknowledge the rules, and introduce yourself and start chatting. We have a great team of moderators who make sure all are welcomed and respected. So what are you waiting for? Come on down and join us in on the fun, and let's talk some trains.
Let's quickly just power through the remainder of these in progress projects. So as we had mentioned, the Union Pacific Heritage Fleet, we just talked about those. I briefly touched upon the Southern Pacific Lark. I remember being very excited and very sad for my wallet when these were announced during the March meet, and I remember asking, I think Jay, I asked you for the printed copy of the announcement sheet, which I still have here, because the Lark is a set where it has been super duper rare to find secondhand. Good luck finding a full set, and when you do, in terms of the 3-rail market, they're usually 2-rail. So for the SP guys, this is a set that everyone's, I'm sure many are very excited for, and I will be getting to replace my Lionel one. There's also the Pennsylvania Railroad Broadway Limited, and you can't do just the Broadway, you have to do the 20th century, so the 38 and 40 20th century being released. As well as the Super Chief, which may I add is a fantastic deal compared to the other options available on the market right now. Super accurate, on the point accuracy for cars, Golden Gate Depot quality, which is one of the best out there when it comes to scale passenger cars in 3-rail O scale. And like I said, compared to what's out there, this is your best deal with how the market is going. And once again, on the topic of great deals, you have the heavyweight coaches and the sleepers compared to the competitors out there. When it comes to scale cars, they're the only ones who really make scale heavyweights. And for the price point, they are actually on par with the current offerings out there on the from the other manufacturers. So If you have the chance and you want to go for the best, go for Golden Gate. You're really, if you can run the scale cars, go for them because they're the exact same price point.
Yeah. I do want to touch on the Lark really quick because you mentioned it, and I don't know if I even put in the Discord group yet, but we are offering individual cars in the Lark. We are offering the triple unit diner because I've gotten probably half a dozen requests saying, hey, I just need this car. I have everything else from the first run. So we're offering that triple unit diner. We're offering the head end cars, the baggage, and the RPO, both as individual cars as well. And with the baggage car, we are also doing a San Joaquin daylight scheme because it's the same exact car. I went through this SP historical book today to confirm. And it would be, for our SP guys, it might be a good idea if you like the San Joaquin, maybe get this because who knows what's coming next.
Oh, Jay, why do you do this to me, man?
See, then he's going to come for me because then he's going to say Sunset Limited somewhere in there too.
I gotta go kick DJ to make sure he buys these. Because I remember, if you go back on DJ's videos, this is a very old one, when he still had the P10. I own his Daylight now, so I don't know if he actually still wants one of these. But he had purchased a competitor's RPO, and one of the things that Golden Gate does well is that you guys use the more muted daylight colors. Mm-hmm. A lot of manufacturers use the more pastel colors that are very bright, especially the reds. You guys are very consistent with your muted daylight colors. So if you want somebody to go with your existing daylight sets that they've done, or if they ever decide to do future ones, as Jay has just mentally maybe considered, I don't know, nothing. He likes to mention things. Really consider these because if you want to go for the best daylight colors out there, in my personal opinion, you guys do it best. And if you ever want to mix and match them with like K-line cars, they also match to a T as well.
Yeah, I mean, nothing really to add there.
I'm very passionate about daylight, as you've probably learned after talking to me for so long now.
Yeah.
Matt Z, John, you guys want to say anything about any of the heavyweights or for the existing passenger cars sets that are being done?
Honestly, like I said, I'm just happy that all of it's here. I'm just happy for the existence of it. I know that a lot of people are very happy about what's being offered. And like you were saying, I can't wait to see what he offers in the future. It's going to be excellent. I just hope he doesn't come for me next with B&O and Southern and all the other stuff. Oh, God.
I think you should do B&O and Southern. I think those would do it. Oh, RF and P doesn't get a lot of love.
Oh, God. Oh, man. RF and P. Holy moly. Oh, that's a whole nother show we could get into. My God.
John, it does say on the back cover, see you in December for our next edition.
Yeah, and you're doing big northerns. Just saying, there's some good Southern roads that got big northerns like the Stripe and the General and the Statesman and the Governors.
I'm not going to disagree with you there. There's a lot that hasn't been done that could be done. And I can confidently say that there will be another Steam offering in the winter.
Oh, boy.
Not going to say what, but just if you guys want to try to figure it out, just look around at preserved steam locomotives all across the country.
Oh, no.
It's another one that's very heavily requested, no scale, but I know there's a lot that are pretty heavily requested. But that's all I'll say about that. But there will be some passenger announcements in the winter as well. I may be hinting too heavily at one, but there'll be another, and it could be on the opposite coast. It could be literally directly on the opposite coast. Have fun figuring out along the eastern seaboard what it could be. But some guys might figure it out. Some guys might not. But I think it would be really cool because it would be the first time in O-scale another first of its kind would ever be done.
Oh, no, man. I'm telling you, the South is an untapped market. There is a lot that has not been made before that I think it's just a case of people like, again, with those crew cabs, man, that's a Southern thing. There's a lot of potential down there. I think we might be in trouble. Oh, no.
All right.
Great stuff.
Well, let's wrap these up here.
Yes.
I know Jay, I don't want to keep Jay for another 3 hours, even though we'd love to do
we
that.
will easily.
Easily, yes. Let's touch base on HO. We haven't forgotten about you guys there. There's also a few things there. A lot of SP love. There's the 70 Harriman head end cars, the Shasta Daylight, which I'm very envious of. The 60 Harriman, our 60 Harrimans are being done. And then I think you guys are doing the subs as well. Yeah, the 80s. And then in terms of modern guys, you have the Amtrak Viewliners. And then for you Rio Grande guys, you have the Denver Rio Grande Western passenger cars that are also being done. So lots of really cool stuff that I'm very envious of.
Yeah, and I'll touch really quick on those subs in the 80-foot Harrimans. Those reservations will be closing at the end of August with a delivery around December, January. And that's going to
Gotcha.
close the door on a very, very long project that we've been working on for years. And then following that will be the Harriman head end equipment, 70-foot cars, your auto baggage, horse baggage, some fun mail cars. Shasta Daylight, that's going to be the first time in HO that there has been a scale aluminum train built. So it is the same quality level as brass, but closer to the price of plastic.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Yep. So we're taking all the technology we've learned with the Golden Gate Depot and the O scale and applying it to HO. And I've seen samples and they look pretty freaking good.
That's awesome.
So, and then the 60-foot Harrimans, those are not going to open up yet for reservations. That's going to be, we're actually redoing the tool on the baggage and the RPOs to make them the proper scale length to the 60-foot. Window configurations will be updated as well to really nail it, to offer a couple different eras. We're going to probably do an early SP lines era with the open transoms. The Amtrak Viewliner 2s, that's another first of its kind in HO. We know Walters is offering Viewliner 1s, but nobody's ever done a Viewliner 2 in HO, so those are still up. And then last month we added the HON3 Denver and Rio Grande Western passenger cars. That's a void that has needed to be filled, where I've been getting the outcry from the community has been incredible, where guys want these and we can do them, and you guys are proving that this is a viable project. And I think that these are probably going to be here within the next year.
Well, that's awesome. I think this is also a good time to really address some kind of questions for some folks who are new to buying your products and what to expect in terms of delivery time and how to do payment. For example, let's use the Mollies as an example, and we can, we'll use the Mollies as an example, or the U-boats. What is your usual time for when it's announced to when pre-orders close, or is there a time frame for that? And then how long till things get delivered? If you were to give a ballpark, I know with different projects, there's different requirements and different production schedules, but just for folks who want to kind of plan for saving it, or if they were still curious about ordering.
The Molly's a good one because you and I, we've been chatting about it on Discord, where typically, reservations could be up for maybe a year or two, depending on interest in the project. Where Molly's, theoretically, we could close them next week, but we're not, of course. Mm-hmm. So, these will be some that we were anticipating fall, winter of 26. Now, of course, I'll check with all of our customers, all our pre-orders, to see if it would be okay with them in their wallets, if they did come in a bit sooner, because we're looking at where these could potentially be coming in June of next year.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's definitely something that we appreciate that. It's not just let's pump them out as fast as you can. Mm-hmm. We do appreciate that you mentioned this with us chatting. You are very considerate of making sure the customer has enough time to pay, because accumulating all that fundage for trains isn't easy for everyone. Definitely not for me. So we appreciate that you want to check with your customers on that. Let's say with a project that's not as crazy demand as the Mollies, let's say like the U-boats or the Pacifics. How about something like that?
Yeah, so the Pacifics, that's another one that has a really good amount of interest, and those, production wise, they're actually slated behind the Mollies.
Okay, gotcha.
So the U-boats are slated later in the year as well, where we put a TBD, but we're anticipating a fall of 26 delivery. We wouldn't close reservations until about 3 to 4 months prior to delivery, because that's typically the cutoff. Because then 4 months prior to delivery is when the factory is going to start actually building the models. So design is done, paint is done, everything's been figured out on that end, and it's typically a 3 to 4 month build time for the factory.
Gotcha. That's very good to know. When you guys do close pre-orders, is there going to be an announcement on your website or on social medias?
Of course. So there's typically, like with me over at Third and Townsend, I do a monthly newsletter. And obviously now it's going to be much more Sunset Third Rail heavily focused instead of just promoting, hey, we got this in, we got these brass models in. But in that newsletter that I'll be sending out each month, we'll have current production updates. This month, it might be a little small because I'm running out of time and I'm actually leaving to go to Spain on Thursday for about a week and a half. So I'm going to try to get it out this week. But yeah, typically the production schedule, any updates. But if you do have something that's going to be of interest, like we've always say, keep watching social media, because I'm not just going to pop up like, oh, by the way, these are closing next week. There's always going to be a 30-day warning, a 60-day warning, a 90-day warning, where when we know we're going to be at a good place, where we know we can estimate cutting off then and starting the project, nobody will be left out.
That's good to hear. A couple other questions regarding the site, just for the customer side of things, just to make sure everybody has all the information they need, so if they're brand new customers. When it comes to pricing or payment, pricing wise, what is the best way? Because the catalog obviously doesn't have the price listed. What would be the best way to see what the current pricing for a product would be? And also, if a customer wants to pay or do a payment plan, is that an option available to them?
Okay, so the pricing is on the website. I understand that a lot of it has, like, just because of the way the website works, there's going to be a slash through the price. So like on the Pacifics, it says $25.99, $25.95, and there's a slash through it and it says 0, because we don't take deposits. We take your word that you want this model and that you're going to commit to it when the time comes. So the price next to the $0 amount is going to be the price. And then additionally, if you scroll down on the page, if they're passenger cars, they're going to be broken down where, I mean, the Super Chief, the 6-car set is 25, 26 something, but each add-on car is $419. And if there is anything regarding tariffs, which I'm glad it didn't come up this talk because I've talked about tariffs so much in the past 2 weeks. But if there's anything regarding that, we will update, we will reach out to you guys to make sure, I mean, to let you guys know, okay, we can absorb this much of the tariff cost, but we've got to pass them on to you. Is that okay? And if it's not, no harm, no foul, we can try again on the next run if you're interested in some of our products.
That's good to hear. The last thing I want to kind of bring up, it's one of those things where it's an unpleasant thing to have to deal with. But let's say a customer has fallen apart hard times where they couldn't actually make the reservation. What's your policy with that? What would be the best way you recommend for a customer to reach out to you if that circumstance, heaven forbid, happens?
Just simply email me. I mean, that's kind of how it goes. I don't really, that's kind of a new traversing world for me, where, like I said, I've done a lot just on the secondhand market for brass. I'm a dealer for a bunch of other companies, but I mean, I'm human too. I get it. I mean, just reach out if there's an issue and we can chat. And if you need more time to pay, you need more time to pay. If you need to cancel completely, you can cancel completely.
Awesome. Yeah, that's one of those things where, since people are new to ordering with you guys, I just want to make sure that was covered. Like I said, it's kind of a bit of an unpleasantry if that has to happen, but just want to make sure everybody who is wanting to order from you for the first time gets a full picture, and we appreciate that transparency.
Yeah, of course.
All right. I think the last thing I want to throw in there regarding the site, I know Scott still has his website for Third Rail. I did see he made a post of kind of directing people to go to your site. Is that still the case in terms of if people want to order, originally who are used to ordering through Scott's website?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, if you click anything on the site, it'll redirect and it'll take you right to here, to my site, and you can place the pre-order there.
Awesome. Well, I think that should be about everything here. John, Matt, is there anything else that you guys want to throw in there real quick for Jay before we wrap up the show and let him skedaddle here?
No, I'm everything's good on my end. I think you did a pretty great job there covering pretty much everything between the two of you regarding the site. Just like I said, explore the site as much as possible. Talk with Jay. Very communicative person, and just plan stuff out properly. They'll do. Third Rail and Golden Gate Depot are going to do you right. Seriously.
100%.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And Third Rail is, I know we kind of talked about pre-ordering, but it's one of those things where if you remotely want the model, pre-order it.
Yes.
They don't really make a lot of extras, if very any at all.
That's a great point, actually, Matt. Yes, absolutely. Pre-order your stuff. Don't be like, oh, what if I just kind of no.
Yeah.
If you want to do it
No.
and you're gonna have lack of buyers regret, then no, definitely do it. Pull the trigger.
Oh yeah.
I'll hop in on that really quick, but yeah, like you guys said, all of our stuff is truly built to order. We don't build extras. We build the number that we have reserved. And I mean, if anything, we all see people trying to find the FAs right now that didn't put the pre-order in. And we have just a finite number. I mean, we have just a few left for guys that, I mean, had to unfortunately kind of forego their reservations. So if you want it, I mean, pre-order it. If there's an issue, I mean, come down the line, talk to me. But yeah, don't miss the chance. Like, I mean, the 30 or so guys missed on the mollies the first time around and then had to wait another 10 years for us to do them.
For sure. So get your orders in, guys, and I promise you won't regret it. It might sting the wallet a bit, but trust me, it's worth it. I love my Golden Gate Depot stuff, and I love my Third Rail stuff. I swear by it, and I'm fortunate enough that Jay is a SP guy, which is a blessing and a curse. Well, let's do this real quick before we do our last things here. On behalf of all of us here, and of course the others will join in shortly afterwards. Jay, thank you so much for joining us tonight. We really appreciate it. You've been a great friend to work with in regards to Third Rail outside and off the podcast, and we look forward to working with you moving forward. And for all the customers who want to go order for the first time, we thank you for taking the time to answer all their questions and be very thorough about it.
Yeah, this has been fun. And I mean, like I've told you, I've very much enjoyed working with you guys in the Discord. I mean, talking with you guys that I'm meeting at shows, and just, I'm really excited to see where the future is going to take all of us in the model railroading world, because it's looking pretty bright.
It really is.
100%. We needed this so much.
Oh, yeah.
We needed this so much.
This has been so fun.
Honestly, if I had to throw it into words, it's kind of a dream come true and a breath of fresh air, a huge breath. This is fantastic. So thank you very much for everything you do, and absolutely huge success for Third Rail and Golden Gate in the future.
Thank you. And if you want to catch us on socials, go ahead and go over to Instagram or Facebook, Sunset Model Third Rail. You can find us there. Also, Third and Townsend Models on Facebook and Instagram as well. And on the TikTok side, which we're not super active on, same thing, Third and Townsend Models on the TikTok.
Perfect.
Are we going to see Scott do any TikTok dances while promoting a model?
As much as I loved that TikTok that I made of him signing I forget who bought that Rock Island Rocket, his first Third Rail model, I really would like to get Scott to do some more kind of little cameos like that, because it was fun. People loved it. He loved it. And yeah, I think we need to see him a little more on the TikTok.
Oh yeah, he's a good guy, man. He's great with the social.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right, John, take us home, my man.
All righty. Well, just echoing my co-hosts again, thank you so much, Jay. It's been such a pleasure talking with you, not only just here, but in the Discord. Thank you for being so receptive. You're a great guy, super friendly. Thank you for all you've been doing for the hobby, and just, giving us this fun little, it's been the month of Third Rail, kind of. I've been loving it. So,
yes.
No, seriously, thank you so much. And it was a fantastic show this evening. We have a great community, and we like to take a moment to shout out some fantastic people, as always, who have boosted the server and helped us keep the lights on here at the Miniature Models Podcast. Let's see. We got SDIV_Tim, Tim's Trains, Blue Comet Fan 833, Matty C. Trains, Newt 1969, Commodore Ghost Ninja, The Rambles, Hard Work Pays Off, Dashing Dan's Trains, Everyday's Life, and SD70 Train Fan. Thank you guys so much, as always. It was an awesome show this evening, but I see our stop is coming up next. If you'd like to get more of us hosts off the air, Mr. Johnny, where can folks find you, sir?
You can find me on YouTube at Audamus, that's AUDAMUS, where I have actually just made a new YouTube video. That's right, I actually made content for once. So the video is going to be on the Southern Pacific AC9s, and I'll be showcasing my custom AC9 that my buddy Lou assisted me in redecaling to be a post-war version, and I show off all the weathering customization we did on that. So if you want to learn about the history of the AC9 and see that custom model, check out that video. And then shortly afterwards, I just released a video on the AC9 just running. So for all you guys who don't like commentary and just want to see trains run, that is free. So no background music, just trains running, and you get to enjoy all of the TMCC rail sounds in their entirety uninterrupted. You can also find me at Audamus_trains on Instagram and Facebook by the same name, where I'm a lot more active, and I've been collaborating with Jay in a lot of projects there, so if you want to see some of the stuff that we've collabed on, check that out. One other really quick information blurb I want to throw out there, we are actually going to be going to the York Train Show, which should be happening shortly after this episode releases. So if you're going to go there, check out the Bluenami DCC seminar that I'll be doing with fellow co-hosts John and Sid. So if you have any burning questions about DCC and Bluenami that you want answered, check out our seminar, which will be occurring on Friday, October 24th at 1:30 p.m. in the Veranda Room. So John will be hosting us, Sid and I will be answering questions. Any further questions about Bluenami, or you want to say hi, swing by the seminar or the Third Rail booth to say hi to Jay as well. Last but not least, you can find me on the Miniature Models Podcast Community Discord server, where I'm reading and responding to all of your posts and making a fool of myself and the text chat. So come on down, it's lots of fun.
Absolutely, absolutely. Matt Z, where can folks find you?
You can find me on YouTube and Facebook under Matt-Trainlover9943. Instagram is Matts.Hobbies, and as always on the Miniature Models Podcast Discord server.
Absolutely, that's what it's all about. And last but not least, you can find me on YouTube as RetroMikado, Instagram as RetroMikado96, and just like my fellow hosts, on the MMP Discord server under RetroMikado. If you haven't joined yet, why have you not? I love talking in there with all you guys. It's a blast. Don't forget to leave us a review on your favorite podcast app. Check us out on Instagram at Miniature Models Podcast for exclusive content you cannot get anywhere else. And be sure to always use our affiliate link whenever you purchase from trains.com. We really appreciate you all. As we always say, it's the listeners who inspire us to keep the show going, and we make this show for all of you. With that being said, everyone have a wonderful night.